Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 2 o'clock webinar today. I hope you're having a great day today. My name is Anika, and if you have just joined me, please feel free to say hi and introduce yourselves. Tell us your name, where you're from, and where you are at the moment. So I will start with introducing myself. My name is Anika. I am from Bangladesh originally, and I used to live in Malaysia for a while before I moved to Italy just 6 years ago, right? So my colleague Carl will be joining us shortly as well. Oh, hi, Lavinia. Nice to see you here from Milan. I'm well, thank you. Today is a lovely day. I had to go to the supermarket earlier, actually, so it was quite warm outside. How are you doing? How are you doing these days? Okay, so today's topic is anti-social networking. So it's an interesting topic because we often hear the expression social networking, but some people may say that these social networks are not very social and they're kind of antisocial in some ways. So we're going to discuss about that. So do you use social network, Lavinia? Do you use any of the popular ones or maybe some of the ones that are not that popular? Let us know. Okay, so today we are going to discuss the following. We're going to discuss social issues and technology. We're going to talk about some vocabulary, and we're going to talk about expressing general and personal opinions. So there are some expressions that you can use for expressing your opinions, maybe if you're in a meeting or if you're talking to a colleague solving problems. So those could be really useful. And throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, you can always ask in the comment sections, and you can also participate in the discussions. So here, Lavinia says, I use them maybe too much. Oh, really? And then you use Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I hear those are the most popular ones. I used to have Facebook and I deleted that about 2 years ago. Maybe probably because I used it too much as well. And then I thought it would be just best for myself to take a break. And I think I opened Instagram for like 1 week. And because I never take photos that much, so it was kind of useless for me. So after 1 week or just a few days, I guess, I had to get rid of it. So let's talk more about this. Okay, so we are not going to watch a video about this because it's a bit complicated to do it in the webinar. So instead, we're going to discuss some questions related to social networks. So we can ignore the first two questions because they're related to a video that we can't really watch on webinar. Instead, let's go for number 3. Oh, I'm sorry, number 4. In your opinion, can anything be done about addiction to technology? The reason we're ignoring the first 3 questions is because it's connected to a video. Instead, let's talk about technology addiction. So, do you think anything can be done about addiction? So, in case anyone doesn't know who's watching, or if you're watching it later, in case you don't know the word addiction, this is a word which means that someone is obsessed with something, someone does it all the time. So, do you think people in general are addicted to technology sometimes, or can something be done about it? Well, I think at least in general, people really are very much into technology, maybe too much into social networks. But I think these days things have changed a little bit because of the situation. Neighbors are getting closer. And
Hello?
oh, hi, Carl. Hi,
Hello,
so nice
sorry
to
I'm
have.
late.
That's
The
all right.
uh,
That's all right.
the the account asked me for a verification code and I freaked out and panicked, so I had to go asking for things.
Phew, you made it.
We're in though. And I see you've been talking to Lavinia. Lavinia, our very own Meravili Lavinia from Milan.
Oh, nice.
All
Yes,
right.
we were talking about social networks, and she told me that she's using Facebook and Instagram at the moment. Do you use social networks, Carl?
Yeah, I mean not too much.
Mhm.
I have accounts. I have social media accounts on a lot of different social medias, but I
Mhm.
don't use a lot of them. Usually
Okay.
just Instagram or maybe Facebook, but usually I don't look at Facebook. I only use Facebook for Messenger or something like that.
Okay.
Um, and then Instagram is usually where I kind of if I want to post anything, I'll put something up there.
Hmm. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Um, and so, do you think a lot of people these days are addicted to technology?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. It's very, very easy to be addicted to technology because it's so like available. There's so much of it out there that it's almost impossible not to be exposed to it in some way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Um,
Mm.
so, yeah, interestingly enough, I haven't heard you guys mention LinkedIn, for example, another social media. That's the only one that I use
Mm.
personally. I used to have Facebook and not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I tried Instagram for a few days, but because I don't take many photos, so it was useless at the end. So I had to get rid of it.
This is it. I mean, like the I for me anyway. I don't know if I
Mhm.
consider LinkedIn as like a social media so much as like a platform to help
Oh
you
yeah.
get a
Mhm.
job. Like I know it is like it's social media in the definition sense, but for me, a social media platform is something where you're communicating with people like in a friendly and informal way. Now there is the option to obviously communicate in a formal way through Facebook and through Instagram as well. But I think LinkedIn would be like the
The
serious
professional
older
kind of.
brother. Yeah, the professional older brother of the social media
Yeah.
group.
Yeah. It's not much fun. There's not much you can do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, like this is it, because social media to me, there's some sort of added
Mhm.
entertainment aspect to it as well.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, on LinkedIn, you would probably get some news about like what's happening in the industry, different industries, or some big
Hmm.
news, something like that.
Yeah.
Nothing fun or entertaining.
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
Federico is from Rome here. Welcome.
Welcome, Federico. I'm glad I
Great.
was not the last one to join.
Well, we were actually discussing the fourth question because the first three are related to a video we can't watch. So,
Okay.
in your opinion, can anything be done about addiction to technology? What do you think, Federico and Lavinia?
Yeah.
And Carl, what do you
Okay.
think? Can anything be done about it?
Well, yeah, I think so. I know anyway that when I was growing up, a way that my parents used to kind of help me with not being addicted to. For me, it was the PlayStation.
Hmm.
I had a serious addiction to like video games and stuff when I was like 6 or 7 or 8. And to be fair, I
Uh-huh.
probably still do now. The coronavirus is not helping my addiction. But I think that the way that they helped me was they kind of, and it's something that maybe parents and people in
Okay.
authoritative positions need to kind of take a stance on that,
Hmm.
okay, you can play this for a certain amount of time, but not too much, or whatever
Hmm.
the person is playing is not so bad that they can just walk away from it. Because I know myself, and I know from watching my brother play, that
Hmm.
whenever he's on like technology, he'll be like, oh wait, I'm just gonna finish this. I'll be 2 minutes. I'll be 2 minutes. 10 minutes later, I'll go back and be like, I'll just be 2 minutes. I'll be 2 minutes, and it's like
Ah,
it just continues.
hard to stop. So would you say
It is.
upbringing
It is.
can be one of the factors
Yeah, I think
that could
so.
be?
I think that
Yeah.
like the way that you are kind of brought up around technology, whether it's just given to you or whether it's kind of kept from you.
Mm,
Because I know that some in certain situations, if you're disciplined to not use it that much, then it won't be a problem. Whereas uh, if it's kept from you, then maybe
mhm,
you don't really know that much about it, and then suddenly when you move out, it's suddenly readily available, and it's like, oh my god, I could do
mhm.
this forever, and just like you just go crazy and
Yeah.
play with it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think I had the same thing when I was growing up. I also was kind of addicted to video games, and then my parents used to come and stop me. Like they laid down the
Yeah,
rules, like, okay, young lady,
exactly.
time's up.
Time's up. No more, no more. And
Yeah,
you're like, but I just got to level 4. And you're like, no, it doesn't matter.
yeah, this is the best part. Ooh, Lavinia has an answer here. She says, the
I
weird
see.
aspect is that maybe you can find the solution to the addiction to the technology looking for it on the internet. Don't know if I'm clear. Um,
Yeah, I think what she's saying is that it's ironic that you need
uh,
technology to solve your technology addiction. So yeah, you could
yeah.
say it's ironic, Lavinia. You could say in that way, that you need technology to solve your technology addiction.
Oh, yes.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's
true
true.
because you
Nowadays,
like need to call people.
mm, that's true. And nowadays, we always Google everything, like no matter what. Like even if you have to get rid of technology, like you have to use Google to know how.
Mm, yeah. Federica here talking about I don't know if there's a formula for the solution. Maybe you have to be pushed away slowly. Okay, so do you mean slowly by someone or from someone? So if you're pushed slowly from someone, that's like away from a person. But if you want to say if you're pushed away slowly by someone, is that a person is pushing you away from something else? So I think maybe the preposition here is probably by.
Hmm.
So like we said with parents probably have an influence, or therapists, whatever you want to, whichever person there is in your life to help you. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
Buy someone. Nice.
Self-correction. Great.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think other people can help. I think some people have worked on their technology addiction these days by connecting to their neighbors or some family members, having to spend time together.
Mhm.
Or probably it has gotten worse for some people. So we don't know. Different things
Well,
for
for
different
me,
people.
I'm 100% worse. Like whenever I'm not cooking or
Uh-huh.
teaching, I'm on technology, either my phone, listening to music,
Mm.
or on the TV, playing games or watching something. So it's definitely not helping
Oh,
mine. But I want
uh,
to I want to get a guitar. This is what I was saying to you yesterday. I want to order a guitar so that my addiction
mm.
can be kind of eased or something.
Ah, yeah. So would you say that you need something to replace it with?
Yeah, for sure. Something needs to take the place of the time spent anyway, because like I spend enough time like doing these things, but if I have something else to do, then I'll do it as
Mm.
well.
Yeah. Okay. So to replace is to substitute something with something else. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can probably move on to our next task here. So we're going to have to match
Hmm.
the words to the correct meanings here. So maybe we
Oh,
can read the words and the definitions. And you guys, if you already know the answers, you can go ahead and match them.
yep. So maybe the we could do like you can number the ones on the left and put letters for the ones on the right, just because it
Mhm.
might take a long time to to type out all of the the definitions. So if you want to say
Yeah.
like connection, distraction, impression, those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then an appearance, something that causes discussion, separate from others. That can be A, B, C, D, E. So if you want to, you can just say 1, A, 2, C, whatever you want to do, just if it makes it quicker.
Yeah. Okay.
So should we read out
So maybe the
the
pronunciation.
yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Go ahead,
All
Cathal.
right.
I think you can maybe you can read the list of words, like maybe definitions.
Yeah, sure. So we have connection, distraction, impression, controversial, privacy, isolated, and interaction.
Okay. So for the definitions, we have an appearance or suggestion of something, something that causes discussion, disagreement, or argument, separate from others, someone's right to keep their personal matters a secret, the act of joining or being joined to something else, an occasion when two or more people or things communicate with or react to each other, a thing that prevents someone from concentrating or on something else. Okay, maybe you guys can see the last one. So I'm going to hide the banner over there.
So Federico there saying 1 to 5. Yeah, kind of like that. If you want to do like a letter, and so instead of a number for the second one, Federico, it might be a bit easier to understand. So 1 as we A, B, C, D, 1E, for example. So Federico
Yeah,
saying connection would be the act of joining or being joined to something else. What do you think?
absolutely right. Yeah,
Very good. Yeah,
the act of joining or
exactly.
being joined. So that a connection can also be like in life, I guess, like you are making connections, networking with people.
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Then Lavinia has said 2 goes with G, which is the
A,
last one, I
B,
believe. So
C, D,
distraction,
E, F, G. hmm I think that
a
prevents someone
thing that
concentrating. I
prevents
think
someone
she's
from
right.
concentrating. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Federico has then gone on to say that he thinks impression would be the first one, an appearance or suggestion of something.
Mm, I think so. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Great.
All right. He then says
Usually we talk
4.
about first impressions.
Yes, exactly. First impressions, the kind of the appearance or suggestion that you get from someone, or what kind of impression did you get from
Mm-mm,
him or her. So he said 4 controversial
mm-mm,
matches up with the second one, something that causes discussion, disagreement, or argument. Yes, absolutely. So something is controversial.
mm-mm.
It's inherently going to create some sort of discussion. Very
Mm-mm.
good. Very good. Then we've got 3 more
Okay.
left. I'll give you guys some time to do those. But yeah, certainly
Okay.
these are like very very related to the whole social networking thing. Oh, privacy. Federico has said privacy is someone's right to keep their personal matters a secret. Yeah, very good.
Mm-mm. Yes.
Okay.
The next one is something can relate. Isolated.
Exactly. Yeah. For sure. For sure. It might be
Okay.
worth mentioning that the vocabulary, the title of this slide, there's a little symbol before the word vocabulary, and so we call this hash or hashtag, depending on where you're using it. Usually in like on a social media, they'll say hashtag, but in just general computer symbols, it's just called a hash sign.
Good point.
Federico has given the last two then. Yeah, very good. So isolated, of course, would be separate from others, and interaction, an occasion when two or more people or things communicate with or react to each other. Very good. Nice work, guys.
Perfect. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions at this point, let us know. And in the meantime, maybe we can discuss some of these related to social networking or
Yeah.
anti-social networking, as the topic says. So, do you think privacy is a problem for social networking?
Oh, oh, now you've asked the question now. I mean, this is like the big
Mm,
issue going on with social media, that there's an element of privacy, but then also another element of not there not being privacy because of the information that's being gathered. So yeah, for sure, like
mm,
while privacy in the sense that you're like by yourself, what information you put on your profile is up to you. It's your decision. But then
mhm.
once you put that information onto the website uses it, maybe without your permission,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
uh,
I
to
agree.
to form ads and stuff. Because I don't know about you, and I don't know if this might be I don't know if this would be a problem on LinkedIn. I don't have a LinkedIn profile, so I don't know.
Hmm.
But uh, certainly for me on Instagram, I will be googling some things, like, for example, yeah, actually yesterday, yeah, because I was on Amazon
Hmm.
yesterday looking at guitars, and I I wanted to try and find some good deals on like a guitar or a bundle or something. And then I
Hmm.
went onto Instagram an hour later, and then on Instagram the advertisements were all about very expensive guitars, and I was like, oh my god,
Oh,
they were watching.
wow.
I
Just
saw.
like that, they can like detect like
Yeah,
what your
the
needs are,
data.
what you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, they use the data. And to be fair, I kept looking then. The advertisements I brought them. I
Yeah.
succumbed to what
Hmm.
they were doing.
Yeah. I think it's called something like target marketing, isn't it? Like when you like find out what the person needs and then you go for it.
Yeah,
But then
exactly. Oh,
there's
and Federico was just saying what I'm saying as well. It's a problem to think about the ads you receive on Instagram when you search something on Google
mm,
before. Yeah. Oh, it is. It's a big thing. Very, very
it
big
really
thing.
is. Mm.
And I've
Okay.
heard of even like certain people like talk when some people have told me that when
Mm.
they're talking about something and their phone is like near them, they say something like about maybe going on holidays to a certain
Oh.
place, and
Mm.
then like maybe a day later an advertisement will come up about traveling, or like
No
it'd be like
way.
cheap flights and stuff. So yeah, it is kind of
So
a
you think
weird
they were not
thing.
talking on the phone, but the phone was near them and they were just talking to each
They
other.
were, I think maybe they were using their phone. It might have
Mm.
been that they were on a telephone call. I'm not sure, but all I know is that they were speaking. There was no data being input to a search engine. But yeah,
Uh-uh. Oh, that's incredible. Technology these
yeah.
days. It's all artificial intelligence. They detect
Oh,
everything.
the
Yeah.
Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to come back and try and kill Sarah Connor. It's going to happen.
Okay, Lavinia says, this last thing you said has happened to me. Really? Ah,
But
so
the phone conversation.
I think that's what
What?
she means. Oh, it's really, so it's like magic. Like, how do they know?
It's like magic. It's just
Leave me
got like a
alone. Are
Harry
you reading
Potter
my
wand,
mind?
They're just going, Aloha Mora, let me into your conversation.
Yeah. But Federico says, yes, it's true. Even while you are chatting on WhatsApp, that's scary.
Yeah, it is very scary.
Yeah.
And that's the big issue, I guess,
We
that
can.
everybody's been talking about recently enough.
Mm, yeah. I think so. And then I think Facebook had to pay a fine for a scandal about some privacy leaks. I
Oh
think it was
yeah,
2 years ago or something. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Do you think we have missed anything here, Carl?
Um, no, I think that, I mean, unless the guys have any questions, if you guys, Lavinia, Federico, if you guys
Mm,
have any questions, let us know.
mm.
If there's anything you want us to clear up about, maybe the way to use one of these words or the way to use them in certain situations, let us know. We can help you out.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually surprised the words isolated is in the list of vocabulary about social networking. Do you think social networking, sorry, why am I doing that? Social networking can be an isolating experience?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like physically,
Yeah.
you're physically isolated. So like while it's engaging and you're forming connections through the internet, you're still
Mhm.
physically alone. You're not there with the people. Um
Yeah.
or even like because I've been to parties, I've been to like gatherings of people where everyone just sits on their phone for a few minutes and it's just like
Oh,
looking around and you're kind of going, oh my god, what is going on here? We're all here together, but then we're on our phones. So it's kind of weird how like you can be in a group, but then you can also be isolated when you're on your phone.
that's really sad, actually. I've seen that as well, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's not very social network. In the end, is not that social sometimes. Yeah.
yeah, no.
Also, like just having your phone around can be a little stressful sometimes. Like, have you ever heard of the term phantom vibration? Like your
Oh
phone's
yeah.
not ringing, but you just feel like, okay, is that my phone? Was it vibrating or something? But it's not. You just expect it so much.
I
Yeah.
like, yeah, because for me, like I don't get too many notifications on my phone, thankfully, apart from group chats on work, which is just that's
Mm.
I think the killer for me is that the amount of group chats that I'm in now is
Mm-mm.
just ridiculous. I'm in too many, and
Really?
so I
How
think I
many would
need.
they be?
Like on WhatsApp, I'm in at least 6 or 7 group chats that are very active, and
Mm-mm.
then in on Messenger, I'm in like 4 or 5. So I'm just constantly getting like messages from those from
Mm.
one at least 1 or 2 of those at the same time.
Mm.
So for me, it's just
Yeah.
oh my god.
Those are like, yeah. And sometimes you can't read like all the messages, like a whole thread of messages, and you read something important. Someone's like, "Hey, you didn't read my message."
Yeah, it's like, oh, sorry, I didn't scroll through 94 unread messages to find your tiny little okay or thumbs up, you know?
I know, right? So,
Oh God, I can't. Oh, like even now, like I've just turned on my phone. I've got there's 9 new messages in the last minute from
oh
our
god,
work chat. So
oh
like
good. Yeah,
this is it,
yeah. I mean, I know work chat is necessary, like you have to keep them,
of
but
course.
then some other groups sometimes can be like overwhelming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. So Federico here said, yes, it's true. Even while you are okay, we read that. It says yes, it could be or not. Depends on the occasion. So depends is
Yeah,
always followed by on.
exactly. Depends on the occasion.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get to some practice on these words. Do a gap fill exercise. Life is
Oh,
short, have an affair. So we're gonna look at
oh my
a list of
God.
words here.
What an awful like thing to live by, having a pet. Oh my god. Okay, so guys, I don't know if you guys understand what this phrase means, but life is short. It's kind of like a phrase that we use for to say, "Oh, life is short. Come on, do something." But have an affair is like not a very nice thing at all. So an affair usually is like, so if we just use the affair as like a normal term. So an affair was like a situation or as like something that happened, right? But usually to have an affair is when you are in a relationship. Usually, if you're married and if you have an affair, you are like have some sort of romantic interaction with another person, not your partner. So yeah, not
Yeah.
a not a very nice or inspiring quote to use. It's like life is short. Have an affair, you know? Like why not? Just cheat on your significant other, your husband or your wife. Why not?
I hope they don't mean that. Maybe it's about something else.
I mean, I hope so.
Let's read and
Well, no,
find
this is
out.
it. This is actually. Oh my god. Oh god.
Okay, guys, we're not gonna follow what they say, but this is just for practice.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Okay. Well, there's a few that we're gonna put in the blanks. So let's study the words first. We have privacy,
Mhm.
impression, morally, controversial, connected, information, and interact. Okay. So if any words are not clear, you can let us know, and we're going to discuss them. Also, if you know the answers, so we're going to read through them sentence by sentence. If you know the answers, please type up the answers. Oh, we already have answers from Lavinia. Connected, interact. So, Gal, do you want to help me read the first sentence?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to read this. It's gonna be great. Okay, we have ashleymadison.com was a Canadian-based website that, as Levine said, connected people who were married or in a committed relationship with each other for the purpose of having an affair.
Oh my
What is
God.
this website? Oh my god. I mean, what? What a name for a website as well. ashleymadison.com. And it's like, could you
Mm,
imagine being in the committed relationship with the person not having an
mm.
affair and just kind of looking at like the search history? It's like, honey, why have you been on ashleymadison.com so often? You're like, oh,
That is so sad.
could be interesting. All right. Do you want to take the
Oh,
second
so
one? Well,
Federico has
Lavinia
the
has said
next.
the interact.
Yeah.
And if oh yeah, Federico's got the next one too.
Okay. So I'm going to take the next sentence. It says, site users could. So I can't really see the. Okay, so he says interact and three information. So site users could interact, very good, Lavinia, with one another online to set up meetings and cheat on their partners.
Oh my
Terrible.
god. So yeah, I think
So.
I'm assuming if you guys don't know what the phrase to cheat on someone is,
Hmm.
I'll let you know. To cheat on someone is when you are in a relationship with someone to you cheat on like your partner. So you cheat on them by having some sort of romantic interaction with someone else while still in the relationship.
Yeah, I'm going to write the definition. Someone who. Oh, if you're writing, then.
Right? Yeah, I'll write it. I'll write it down.
Okay, cool. All right.
If
So
you want
in
to
the
take,
meantime, I can
yeah, you
go
take the next one.
ahead with. So in 2015, or you can also call this 2015, a group of unknown hackers broke into the website and stole the personal information of its customers, like Paduka said. All right, so things are getting interesting here. So,
Oh,
unknown hackers broke into the website. So, break into can be a nice phrasal verb, really common phrasal verb to use. Literally, it can mean to go enter into a house or a place where you're not welcome. And in a website, when you break into a website, you hack into it. So, some hackers broke into it. And then what happened?
mm-hmm.
Later, they published the customer list on the internet. Ooh. So they revealed the
Oh,
names of the cheaters, people who were
yes,
cheating.
yes, love it.
Good news. Okay, we have answers coming in here. Very good, Federico. Privacy and impression. So he goes ahead
Mm-hmm.
and says, running many relationships and professional careers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Ruining, I'm
then,
sorry, I'm reading wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me today. To ruin is to destroy, ruining many relationships and personal careers, professional careers. Oh, interesting. In
Wow.
the opinions of the hackers, so do you want to take the next one, Carl?
Yeah, the opinions of the hackers. The site was morally wrong, as Federico has said. The publication of personal information, however, also became a controversial issue. Very good, Federico again.
Great. So, mm, yeah,
And
it
then
seems
Federico's given the last
controversial
two as
though. Like,
well, but yeah.
hmm. I mean, I'm sure the website has promised them, okay, this is a private site, we're not going to reveal your information, but then the hackers came in and revealed the information.
Yeah, so like on the one hand, the hackers are doing a good thing in that they're kind of outing people who are doing bad things and they
Hmm.
shouldn't be when they're in a relationship.
Hmm.
However, publicly putting people's personal information and stuff on the internet is also kind of controversial. It's like it's this is what it well, yeah, well, this is why it's controversial because there are two sides to it. There's one side of it where okay, the people who are cheating deserve to be uh like put out there. They deserve to be uh spotlight shone on them. But then at the same
Hmm.
time, should people's personal information be put so publicly online?
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, so we're with the last two sentences. Some argue that privacy is more important than morality in on the internet. Many were left with the impression that privacy is not possible on the World Wide Web. Hmm. Okay. So
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Oh,
Oh, so
interesting. Federico here
Federico's
says,
got an interesting one. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was just about to read it too. I did my
yeah,
thesis
go
in
ahead,
high school
Cathal.
about
I'm just
hackers
gonna fix the problem with. Hmm.
and these types of problems. Wow. Okay, very interesting, Federico. You did your thesis about hackers and people hacking information. Interesting. So you've obviously done some study, some proper study with some like detail and information and stuff. Maybe you can share with us like what sort of things did you find out about these types of problems? Was it uh, what kind of information did you find?
Yeah, and tell us what you think about this situation specifically. Like, do you think the hackers were morally correct? Like, it was better for them to do it in this case?
Yeah, this
Like,
is the
can
interesting one.
hacking
Yeah,
be used to do good in the world?
yeah. Or they call as they call themselves hacktivists. So there's the phrase activist. So a person who
Mhm.
stands up for a particular um, like small group or side that needs to
Mhm.
be spoken out about. So an activist is a person who speaks up and out for a certain group of people. A hacktivist is a person who hacks into technology and uses their abilities, their technological abilities to um, I don't know, liberate information.
Yeah. So, is it really a thing, Carl?
Yeah,
Hacktivist?
yeah.
I didn't know about
Hacktivist.
that.
So yeah, well, like it's kind of it's a colloquial phrase,
Hmm.
um, and it's kind of, and I'm not sure whether it's properly in the Oxford English Dictionary, but it is
Hmm.
used for that type of person.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the word exists because it didn't show autocorrect or anything. So,
Hey, there you go.
yeah. Okay. Great, great. So you guys keep writing and send us your comments. In the meantime, we're gonna move ahead. Oh, so Federico here says yes, they were morally correct, and sometimes they act only for morality. Even people, so I think there's a full stop. Even people think they are bad people. There are some differences.
Yeah. So it's kind
Okay.
of like they were acting for the right reasons, even though maybe what they did was not technically right
Mm-hmm.
or good.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, or like maybe
Okay.
legally it wasn't right.
Hmm.
but still.
Okay, so we can observe like one of the phrases here, in the opinion of the hacker. So this is commonly used when you want to talk about someone's opinion, or if it's your opinion, you can say in my opinion. So we're
Yeah.
going to look at another expression, some argue that. So if you want to talk about a point um, that could be spoken against your opinion, you say some argue that. So for example, we can say, I think the hackers were morally correct. However, some argue that it's a privacy problem. Okay, very nice
Hmm.
expressions that you guys can use in meetings or, I don't know, even formal kind of conversations. Okay, so we can move on to, I think we have talked about some of these questions already. Mm, so since we have just a few minutes left, maybe we could move ahead to the next grammar point where we look at some expressions instead. What do you think, Carl?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so we have here some expressions of opinion. So are the following expressions personal or general point of view? So we have to categorize them into the right category. So it is, so I can read the list here and then we're going to discuss. The first is, it is true, it is thought that, in my experience, some people say that, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, it is generally accepted that, they say that, personally, I think. So what we can do is think of these as numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And
Yeah.
then you guys can put general point like GP and then numbers 3, 4, 5, whatever, and personal point PP 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. I think that would be a
I
quicker
love,
way
I
to
love.
answer.
I've just read down through these, and it's kind of like weird because you can make like an unending sentence with all of these phrases. You know, you can say, "Well, it's thought that, in my experience, some people say that, as far as I'm concerned, it's generally accepted that, in my opinion, they say that, personally, I think." You just like keep going and make like a really unending sentence.
Oh, that sounds funny. And then the person listening to you would be like, okay, what's your point? Just tell me what your point is.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we can also do what Lavinia is doing. So it is thought that, general point of view. In my experience, personal point of view. Great. And I agree with her.
Very nice.
So can you give us an example, Carl? It is thought that. Give us your precious opinion.
Well, let me go through the list. No, it is thought that. Oh God, I don't know a general point of view. It is thought that um, Donald Trump is not the best leader for America.
Yeah, it is
It's kind of
indeed.
like a
It is
general
thought that.
point.
Great. And in my experience, I would say, so for it's a point of view. So in my experience, um, milk tea is the best beverage in the world.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
controversial statement. Okay, okay.
Well, couldn't come up with something more,
Oh, that's great. No,
I
I
don't
like
know,
stick to
important, I
this. Stick
guess.
to the controversy.
Okay. So
So the
next
Wrinkles
we
gone
have, so
ahead and
there's
said
also,
that some people say, yeah, in the general point of view. So yeah, you can say some people say that the coronavirus has helped the environment.
great. And as far as I'm concerned, that's really common. So we're going a little bit quicker because we just have 3 minutes left, but keep the cancers coming. As far as I'm concerned, would be personal point of view because I is there. As far as
Mhm.
I'm concerned, As far as I'm concerned, people should take care of their environment.
Nice.
People should use less plastic.
Then, hey, there you go. Nice. We have a couple more ones. Lavinia here has also said, oh, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, in my opinion, also the personal point of view. So yeah,
Very good.
in my opinion, this quarantine will end in the next 2 months.
Great. Also, Federico says it is general, except that is a general opinion. So the word generally gives it away. So it is generally accepted that it's very important for us to be very careful about social distancing these days.
Nice, nice. Also, he's given the next one. They say that, yeah. They say that. Oh God, I don't know. It's very hard to come up with these on the spot. They say that. They say that you should. They say that you should always wear a face mask outdoors now.
Yeah. That's a nice expression, and I think very few students use it. So they doesn't mean like a special, like a specific group of people, but they means in general. Like, or
Yep.
sometimes you start by saying, "Do you know what they say?"
Oh, you know what they say,
So if you want
and
to,
you're like,
yeah,
not they. Yeah, exactly.
no, what do they say?
What do they say?
They
I don't
say
know.
that, right? So sometimes you say it's some proverbs or something that I don't know. Patience lead to a good result. They say that.
Mm-hmm. They say
Okay.
that curiosity killed the cat.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Curiosity kills the cat. I don't know where that comes from. Why cat? Why curiosity? So anyway,
I don't know. Yeah.
personally, I think, of course, it's a personal point of view, which means I could give an example. So personally, I think we should be more. Personally, I think that writing is a difficult hobby.
There you go. Nice.
Okay. So, any questions so far, you guys? Let us know. I'm not sure which time to take because I can see it's like 2:50, but then we have still 3 minutes left in the webinar.
So the time I think we have to take into consideration is the actual time, not the time of the webinar.
Okay. All right.
So guys, thank you very much
So
for your participation. It was great to get your guys' input. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to finish up here. But yeah, try to incorporate some of these phrases into your speech, guys, because it really kind of can help just develop your fluency and develop your overall vocab if you start to use these phrases, as opposed to just one phrase over and over and over again.
exactly.
But
Good advice.
thank you so much, and I guess we'll leave it there for today, and keep watching the webinars. Keep an eye out on the social media for any updates that we put out. And have a good day, guys.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye, guys.